How's it going there? I'm gonna try to do this video from here, see if I can actually get it to pick up my voice well on here. First thing I say is we don't really think Megyn Kelly from Fox News is a whore or anything like that. We're just we're out here mudslinging. We don't really actually have an opinion of Megyn Kelly at all because we don't watch Megyn Kelly on TV. We don't watch Fox News either. I used to watch it religiously because I believed in a lot and everything that those people said. But now I have reason to believe that I was right for turning away years ago and not watching Fox News. I might stop every once in a while and pay a little bit of attention to what's going on because other people might be watching it or whatever, so I'll tune in for a second, but that's it. So the mudslinging. So somebody said something derogatory on Fox News. I say derogatory things all the time. So now I feel like Fox is sort of taking a shot at me and other people on YouTube that use profanity. Now let me tell you, I don't use profanity only to just try to look cool. Not try to look cool, but blend in and make myself aware, people aware that hey, I'm American and we're all equal. We're all here in the same boat, same place. But I also feel somebody told me before that sometimes whenever you curse it, you throw a curse word out there, people can understand your genuinity. That you, I don't know if that's a word or not, but they can tell that you're genuine of what you're saying. But still, people like older people or whoever people want to try and act like, oh, this just this um, taboo. It's another taboo thing to do is to say the F word or anything else derogatory like that because people aren't going to listen to it. Although I seem to think the swipe I think Fox is taking at people on YouTube and other places that do swear every now and then, not like every other word, but let loose every once in a while, and just be heard. I think that they're maybe on the verge of losing ratings to other people all around. Maybe it's being distributed in different ways, but I think that's what it told me in particular, and that's just my opinion, is that that's why would the guy say that Farina cut Trump balls off on TV like that, national television like that, if they didn't think that that was going to somehow excite their ratings. But as they continue to go after Trump, they continue to help the guy out. So it's a backfire effect. It's just like what I was saying. I didn't want to talk about Obama. I didn't want to say the guy's name. I really do not like him. I do not believe in a single thing the last few months or year or 2 years or whatever has only clearly basically cemented my dislike for the Democrat Party and what they're about and what they're trying to achieve in America. So I'm not on board with that, and I'm not on board with the feminist movement and all that. I believe that maybe there's a chance a woman can rise to the level of like some type of advisor to the president, but then the president would still have to be humble enough to be able to listen and not just be like, oh yeah, and it go over his head and then not pay attention to what a woman or anybody who is wise and has good input has to say when it's really helpful and good patriotic patriotic sense for America, not being patriotic to the enemy or other countries or thinking America, the place that that basically doesn't take over territories without liberating people. So just to know the difference between what people talk about my country, America, and the bullshit that I know is not true about America not being a hostile force in the world, pushing people around. Okay, and it's nonsense. Just cut it out. It's not even true. It's absolute baloney. People say this is why I say you do damned if you do, you damned if you don't, because when you go in there, people are like, "Oh, that darn America's got to go prodding its nose around everywhere," and then whenever real shit hits the fan and the world's on fire. But Obama is the greatest thing that ever lived. He's the best thing that ever happened to America, and he saved America while the world is burning. But yet, um, you got this other sense going on here. And I don't understand the logic in the way that these liberals really think. It's just completely unpatriotic, and it's not for America. It's to make America weak, try to get even with America, and it's nonsense. Not just cut it out. I'm just sick of people pushing their weight around like that in their little tiny people, with little tiny points to push around. Like we're seriously could be at the end of the world's destruction could be at any moment, like within our lifetimes right now, and we're here helping gay rights out. While we're also, our foreign policy is to help people out who hang gay people. So the contrast is real and it's really there, but that's okay. It's okay. We got a liberal in there. So what are these people at Fox or anybody else doing that I said I thought was messed up the last time I voted in the primary, and then I had to voted again. I voted for Romney. My first pick was Newt Gingrich in the primary. That's who I voted for. And then I voted for Mitt Romney. And yes, I did. I voted for McCain too, but I would much rather McCain do damage if he was going to really cause some progressive stuff that wasn't going to be helpful to America. I'd rather a guy who actually served as a GI do it than a guy who probably his whole life refused to go into the service and despised the military. And it only shows up to now how much that he dislikes and despises the military, doing exactly what they shouldn't do. So, I was just saying that at this point in time, maybe women that been in my life, maybe like close or whatever, people that I've known, however you want to describe it, women that have been in leadership positions or roles with me in particular. I'm not impressed, so I'm not ready to go and vote for just any woman. She'd have to be really selling me a lot of um, goodies that are different than what just normal voters are looking for. And not to go back from my words from this election, this is what I said going into this election because of my disliking for Democrats in particular. I said, my statement was, have all these liberals, and I didn't say Republican one, but I'll say Republicans now. I'll say any politician, anybody running, anybody that's become something. What I want to see is them go run a business, then make it run successful. If they didn't run it into the ground and it just had to close down, and you really can't prove to me that they didn't do worse to a business than they would have done just simply by wiping their hands clean of it and walking away. Because I've done that myself. I've seen that where you didn't I didn't lose anything. It wasn't really a business. It was just like something minor, but still I didn't shoot myself in the foot whatever I was doing. So I didn't make a the contrast or a mess of the thing. But then again, I also didn't promote myself and didn't make myself huge and large like I could have, right? That's anybody. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying I'm gonna vote. I want to vote for somebody. If I ever vote for a liberal, because I've never voted for a liberal, but if I do, this is what I want. I want them to go run a business. If you run that business and it's successful and it's still good, by the time you come back to politics or you come to run for politics or whatever, then I will accept you and I will not probably talk smack about you because I will think that you understand inflation and that you understand what the driving debt and the nail in the coffin to our economy is really doing liberally these days anymore, what it has done up to this point. then I would take you serious. Then I will be more serious as a voter, somebody who votes. In my opinion, I think I've done my homework up to this point. I think the economy needs that, and that's why I still fall back on Trump and can't talk smack about him. And I did want to be president before, but now I'm driven to not want to be the president anymore. It's maybe I should have said it differently, but I'm just I just don't want to be bothered by it and people anymore. I think that we're all there. This has gotten way out of hand, and this is too ridiculous. And I refuse to follow and abide by laws that don't even apply to me as a human being and are pushed around like I'm supposed to abide by them, like my word will get me shot or something, you know? So who's the true bully? For I don't know how many years we have just sat back. I didn't ever go after gay people. I didn't ever talk bad about transgender people. I didn't ever do anything discriminatory towards those individuals before. Okay, for now, now has come the point where I have woken up in a different way. I thought I was woke up before, but now I've woken up to reality of lies, deceit, and I know for a fact that it is wrong if it comes from the Obama administration. His foreign policy is going to be wrong, and his what he prescribes for America here at home is going to be completely wrong, a waste of time. So now I feel like as if my own time in life has been wasted up to this point in time because of all this liberal nonsense. And what are people saying? What are people doing? They're doing the opposite of what I said. I said I want. You know what? I haven't even listened to the debates. I have not even heard them at all. Not even one time. I haven't even listened to a single one of them. But I'll tell you again what I said last year, the last time that there was a presidential primary runoff for the Republican Party. I said I don't want to hear these people bash each other. I want to hear how these people are going to come in here and explain to me how you're going to fix something that a person that is like an undocumented worker that comes from another country, broke into the country, came here, became the president. So before up to that point, and he was a senator too. So where he was at in Chicago, illegally and illegitimately allowed this person that has no constitutional rights to become a U.S. senator. And then they let him rise up to the ranks from senator to the president. And either that or he shifted us one way or another. If he was born here, well, then he took funds here, and that's saying like it's okay to tell other people, hey, you can come and join the Democrat Party. We can vote 5 or 6 different times every time there's a vote. Okay, for dead, we'll vote for people that are deceased. But we want to make this Obama birth certificate thing vividly clear that if he is a true American citizen, like say he could be, I would have accepted that just as his mother had been American, but somewhere along the line they gave up his American citizenship. She gave up his citizenship and her citizenship to go live with her husband that she was married to at that time in Indonesia. So I don't know how they got back into the country or whatever, but whenever he came back, it sounds like he was smuggled in because later on he took funds as a foreigner to go to school. So, and those were the documents sealed that they tried to keep sealed from when he went to college. Cambridge? Did you go to Cambridge? I have no idea where the dude went to. It said Harvard, and that was it. And I wasn't about to go read the dude's uh, Wikipedia or whatever. He's a deranged person. I do not like him being my president. I do not feel safe with a Democrat, with a liberal in office. So I am highly ashamed of people like Megyn Kelly and other people coming on there. Realize that I think that it is such a you let me down so much whenever you're sitting there talking about Donald Trump, a guy with billions of dollars that has now denounced liberalism and denounced, basically he hasn't come out and said all of the things that he said before were shocking to hear now, to go back and listen to him say now about how good Obama was going to be and all this and that. Well, he has, in a very strong way, has come out and denounced liberalism, and that's what I thought we were all fighting for and against. So, really, I don't know what other type of title I was gonna use, but other than to call Megyn Kelly a whore, I wanted to see if I'd get a little bit of ratings, maybe, from saying that. See if I could get the video to go viral from that, And I'll keep working on my topic skills so that I can make a video go viral eventually. But that's all I wanted to say was that I've heard it's been such a letdown that to hear these guys go up there and talk about what this Republican's done, that Republican's done, bring up all this past stuff. And while you got the most communist, fascist devil in the White House right now, and you can't even kick him out. You can't even kick him out. You guys are creepy. You guys are creeping me out. Megyn Kelly, Fox News, you guys, just as much as anybody else. You got other Republicans all split up against Republicans, households divided. People are like, on Megyn Kelly's side, and then I'll be on Donald Trump's side. But I had to think about this and reflect for a second. I'm thinking, wait a second. I said these guys send a liberal out to the real world. If they can make a business successful and they can come back, then I will accept them as a person. So as a politician. And then they call Trump an outsider. That only helps him out even more, Like them bashing him on Fox helps him out. So, there he is. There's your liberal. He woke up. He straightened himself out. And do you think he cares about us? You know what? I would definitely think that Donald Trump actually cares about America. It cares what happens to it. It cares that America isn't mistreated like this anymore. And it would have to fall down on him caring about how Americans are treated. So, I think that's what I'm aimed at hearing, more of what Trump's going to do. But clearly, he's got an agenda wrapped up around my opinion, what I said, what I've seen the last 7 years until this ape criminal is out of the White House. Okay. And he's gone for good, and you don't put another liberal in there, progressive, or somebody who's just going to floor the gas pedal on our economy anymore, which is, I mean, I don't understand how more voted people don't get that is where the jobs have gone in the toilet. They've gone overseas. Bill Clinton worked on that. The healthcare thing Obama did here, the first thing he did, that was a Bill Clinton, the Clintons, one of their things that they tried to do when he was Bill was president, and couldn't get done. So you're telling me, so anybody wants to say that that's not destructive and tearing America apart? Well, I'm seeing a different kind, but still it comes down to being the same distraction. And what we're seeing now in the Republican debates and on Fox News right now is now it's a little bit clearly messed up, kind of scandalous a little bit, like MSNBC and those other liberal news places do whenever they contrast their own selves after they got this crazy Arab, whatever the heck he thinks he is, Barack Hussein Obama, uh, what is it, Sarantos, his, Barry Sarantos, that was his birth name. So they also said that he kind of disbarred himself, and he had to have lied to get in the bar where he was at in Chicago, I believe, if he had a different name before and changed his name somewhere down the line. So maybe that's what the birth certificate thing's all about, and that's what they got on him. But it's Barry Sarantos, and he gave up his American citizenship, used funds to go to college. This is Barack Hussein Obama here, your president now. Used funds to go to college as a foreigner. That doesn't even shock people what a liar he is? How he lied to everybody? Is it because they're too ashamed to admit how badly they, I want to say, the F worded up? I'll be a little bit mild since I'm making this video for Megyn Kelly and Fox News, basically. I don't want a woman president. I'm not impressed with women in my lifetime up to that point. I was with Condoleezza Rice, but I'm just kind of, I don't know. People talk smack about her. I don't believe it. I just don't think that I don't think Bush did that well either, defending his own self. It took him years and years to finally say something about what was going on. What was he? Was he classifying his opinion or something? I mean, good grief. Does the law say the president has to classify his opinion? I have no idea. So who is less of a child? Who is less of a child whenever it comes to these Republicans or pundits or whatever you want to call them, candidates for our presidency again come up? They're either going to be a puppet of some sort or they're going to be a true, genuine person to everybody. So are they solid? And whenever they're acting like children like this, I really don't believe that they make a solid point that that they're mature, that they're to a mature level where I would want to consider them at all. But I might be forced into voting just in the primary, and then if one out of, let's say, only three people that I like so far in the whole thing don't get elected or don't get nominated by the primary vote, then I think I might be out, because I'm not voting for Marco Rubio, and I'm not voting for Chris Christie. Um, I'm not voting for Jeb Bush. I'm not voting for a lot of swinos. A lot of swinos. You want to call some of them rhinos? I call them swinos. Get out of my face. You know what I mean? I worked in voluntary work for these people for years, for probably, I mean, through different campaigns. It was only one campaign every 2 years or 4 years, but I've been doing it since 2001, 2000 basically. So I was a student body senator when I was in college at Umpqua Community College, and one of the things that my student body president, Michael K, there at the time in 2001, 2002-ish. It was when 9/11 happened, around then. So it was kind of a difficult time, a little bad time, a little bad raw taste in our mouths from that. So we wanted blood, we wanted vengeance from that. But I was a student senator at the time, and our we had women that did excellent work as senators, and other people that just came together very well with everybody as a group, and did splendid. But as far as the president goes, I just kind of like a genuine dude to be in there, and I don't know that we have quite a genuine woman enough, because it's rare enough already to appoint somebody to that position. I'm reflecting back a little though on when I was a student body senator, and my student body president asked me to cover a favor for him, and he wanted me to help him try to raise funds for a little girl. He thought that it was what needed to be done, who got injured really bad. So the student body president sent me to go and try and pass this thing off to the the uh, school president of the school, and she kind of shut me down a little bit and basically told me that she thought it was a bad idea, because she didn't think the college should be thought of as a um, fundraising school. That's what she told me. So I have no idea what feminists and women and all these other people alike think is going on, or what's in your head, and where you're coming from. All I know is that dudes think of how to protect the woman at all times, because we don't think that women can necessarily protect themselves all the time. We want them to be able to guard themselves, but it takes us a little bit off of our tasks, and we're uncomfortable with it's a safety issue. So you know I just I wish that women would be a little bit more careful um, whenever you're coming out. Of course, the Republican Party had to have a woman, I guess, running against Hillary. The Democrats, they want a woman in there, of course, because of course, what could really snark snuggle America right now after 8 years of women in feminist, leftism, Marxist practice. What else could more of the same thing, but by a blundering female? No other way could America not positively go down the drain, the tube, without a woman coming in and taking us down. By dang it, one way or another, they're gonna do it. You know, they snuggled us and they used this race thing like we're a bunch of racists. But who's the one who put a black guy who they say is black? Right, I buy that. Yeah, sure. Obama's black. Yeah, he's a brother. Sure. Actually, really, honestly, I don't buy that. I think he might be some kind of mixed race where they tried to make a Muslim Arab. They tried to make it Arab from a white person and a black person. But not I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the leftist sentimentalism anymore, and they're clever. So, what is it for America? Um, I just want to know: is this how America is going to end? Is this how we're all going to get blown up? Is this how we're going to die? Is this how it's all going to end? So, does Obama want to be the president that actually makes America get destroyed, or makes America topple into nothing, destroy us completely? Or do you think the guy is willing to help another Democrat get elected and leave office so that he can help somebody else dictate America's collapse and destruction? Because really, honestly, that's all I see going on there. And it just really what I saw on there was really offensive, and I felt like calling Megyn Kelly a whore, even though I really don't think you're a whore. I think that you're acting like a child, and you're being very terrible, a very terrible individual. So I just wanted to ask, for no good reason, are you a whore? Because I usually think that I would ask such a question to a female in particular if I thought she was a backstabber, she was doing something deliberately, even despite, arrogantly, just like the leftists, like Obama, throw it back in our face like a woman, or even dudes do it. But I'm saying with this feminine, in your face type of thing, I don't know what's got into these people, but it's not very helpful. And I don't know if I need to apologize or anything for that, but I'm just trying to make a point. I hope I did, and I do. I hope this thing goes viral and gives everybody a STD. Thanks.